Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Jenda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we talked to the cryptozoologist. We're now going to talk to his partner, and then carry on exploring the boardwalk area.
I'm
Gary, the
How do you do,
cryptofascist.
officer? Yellow man. Officer.
Holy shit, Gary.
The lieutenant raises
Instantly?
his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
Yeah.
Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors,
I like
cryptofascist?
nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
But that does seem to be true.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Sadly, I think I may possibly be a drunk, or a degenerate. Maybe even both.
Dark times will do that to good men.
This your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Well, you seem like you might, like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this at home in his colonial mug collection.
How do you mean? Forgive me, officer, but we've only just met.
He is trying to avoid lying to you outright, in case you really have been to his apartment.
Alright, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
Pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Should I find him? Let's start with information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Gary, did you put the clothes of the murder victim into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Please,
I was
explain.
only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what?
Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
Changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Lieutenant remarks, slowly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
You wouldn't know anything about that missing armor, would you, Gary?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
What's that strange sound,
What
Gary?
sound?
That clinking when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
How'd you get into the trash container,
I
Gary?
know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez,
Why?
so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Armor?
An infant could see he's not telling the truth.
What
I
sound?
think you know what I'm talking
I
about,
haven't
Gary.
the slightest.
Every day, the wind
I hope I could help your investigation. In my small way.
Alright, let's move on, Gary.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
You know anything about the guy hanged behind the whirling in rags?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
He shifts uncomfortably in his
Uncomfortable
clothes.
shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a native of Revachol, Gary.
Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Sounds
Yeah,
like some
alright, Gary.
conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it.
I don't think I want to. So you live nearby?
Sure do.
In
officer.
Martinez?
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
You're a big man from Helmdall fan, huh?
How?
Mr. Everard... Should I sell Claire out? Well... I saw all your colonialist memorabilia, Gary.
But why were you in my apartment, officer?
Oh, just doing Mr. Clare a small favor.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he don't like you much.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
You a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
You have a favorite cryptid?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What is a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Why only the
The
males?
flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
Ow.
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly.
What?
Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway,
The lieutenant sighs, without looking up from his notes. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
How do they burn?
they have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
Does the lighting of this fluid work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
I see. That'll be just like that rhino.
We don't really do that around here.
Oh,
Perhaps
sure we do,
we
Kim.
should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once. A long time ago.
He says, and then pauses thoughtfully.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons.
He's
Barely
got the
keeping
whole
that thing
chest
together,
piece of the armor
as
on
if
under here.
Something is ready to rip out from underneath. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear, Gary.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the
I
shirt.
was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his
We're
gaunt
not
torso.
detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why'd you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union. But I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Sure. So why'd you put the damn clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. CLI officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
Shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Give me the damn armor, man.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thank you for your cooperation. Well, look at that, folks. We have just acquired the Fairweather T500 Cuirass. It fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat and makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Oh, I can wear it as an undershirt. It adds to pain threshold and volition, but reduces empathy. Apparently we gain conceptualization, add suggestion. Or lose suggestion, which is 0. We're not too good at suggestion. Oh yeah, I have a level up too. Let's unlock another. I don't know. These are more fun. This could have actual value. I don't know. Let's internalize this. It might come in handy at some point. Or it could be a complete red herring. Anyway, I think I'm not gonna put the cuirass on right away, because I don't want to lose... Well, we'd gain suggestion, but we'd lose empathy.
kind of want to have, out of all of the things here, the one that is most relevant to me, I think, is empathy. So. Let's see here. Drama. If anything, I should pay more attention to these regularly. Okay, that's a jacket option. What does conceptualization do again? Oh, see art in the world. It's just plus logic. That's plus conceptualization, but minus conception. Let's put the logic shirt on. My logic is 8 now. That's not bad at all, surely. Okay, anything else up here? 45 cents. I think that's it as far as, yeah. Dead end over here. Probably gonna have to come back to Morel, but how do I get up there? For this guy with the puppet is. Okay. Oh, I think we just go up here. Yep. Alright, we'll talk to Puppet Dude in a second. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. That looks like maybe it goes ways north. Let's check this out first.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Lieutenant, you see anything?
No. I won't even try. You know,
He takes his glasses
I
off.
had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
See. It's not great, Kim. What's going on here? Feld Electrical, huh?
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow was just a whisper
Looks
away.
like tomorrow never came.
Clearly. What's your deal here, dude?
And Mikhail
Oh, that's a
noticed the
kid,
windows,
not a puppet. Oh,
especially
jeez.
with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. Trant Heidelstam. Trant Heidelstam. Okay. No windows on the south side.
You
huh?
officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Trent Heidelstam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hypertext?
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Okay. What's that about the windows?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand at the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the wet hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grant. quite tricky, but he wanted to play this grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
I
The
see.
man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
I see. What's so fascinating about this empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Cybernetics?
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't know if I've ever heard of Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era.
Tech is moving really slowly in this world,
Still,
huh?
Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was the ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
Grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What
Indeed.
happened?
What?
Revolution, presumably.
Revolution.
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. It makes sense.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Shame.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky. A big Ferris wheel aficionado, Kim?
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
They all get shot a building south of here by any chance? Ooh.
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
It seems inappropriate to tell Mick I don't have to be an asshole just because I'm a communist. Tape computers, right?
Tape computers.
What did the revolutionaries do with the tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
Why is his son chewing on the Wurm coloring book? Looks like he's like 6 or something. Isn't that old enough to not chew on the Wurm coloring book? Whatever.
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
I see.
I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
So how do these tape computers work? Like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team. Trying to...
I'm sorry, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? What the hell kind of a name is that, Trant?
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Slow down a little, Trant. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? Paul Ockerman? Keith and Guy Just?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his
But
throat.
perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
The Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why'd they destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind.
But of
Alright.
course, what else?
You look like you have money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Could I have some of that unimportant money?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable. His left hand squeezing
I'm
his
just
son's
spending
shoulder.
time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
I mean,
Not that he
You're
would
right.
have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
do you work out, Trent?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Of course you do.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Oh, form of martial arts from the Isle of Lomantan, right?
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harli people. The name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures...
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references. Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him.
I kind of like
But
it.
anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
How often you work out? Like once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
So what, twice a week? Man, it's hard to stay on the right topic with you.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
I see.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
He says, swaying with his hand. Alright, thanks for all the interesting
No,
information.
thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
I don't know. He seems chill. I can now think about the Wompty-Dumpty-Dome Center for some reason. Don't know that I want to, but... a lot of clothes these days. And this taxidermy of a grouse. Right, I was gonna ask their mother if I could have that. Oh well. Another power box. Charges nothing now. It's empty. Oh damn. 5 real and some Nosafed just sitting in there. Fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Alright, let's carry on down the boardwalk this way then.
Thanks for watching, detectives. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And have a nice day, detectives. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.